Match number 28 of the Tata IPL 2025. And once again, it's a super Sunday doubleheader. We are focusing on the afternoon game alongside Orko with me. Royals versus Royals. It's a very important game, I must tell you. Rajasthan Royals returning back to the Sawai Mansingh Stadium, the iconic Jaipur. It's Rajasthan Royals versus RCB at Jaipur, Orko. It's a very important game for both the teams because, if my memory is correct, both the teams are coming from a defeat. At Ahmedabad, it was Rajasthan Royals who came from defeat, and once again, the poor record at home for Achinal Swami continues for RCB, but it required a Karnataka boy to do that.
Well, definitely, of course. We did believe that RCB would maybe see through the game, though they didn't get a very big score. It was a modest total. But they started off well. Bhuvaneshwar Kumar was on the money. Yash Dayal was on the money. It was a bit surprising why Hazelwood didn't take the new ball. But again, what a move that ended up becoming. And day by day, we are seeing Rajat Patidar, the captain, impress a lot. And certainly, there's a reason why Kohli said that he'll be in and around the circuit for a long time. And of course, the batter in him has also been proving for a pretty long time of late. This match, of course, he didn't stand up. People may say that the pitch has become a bit difficult for batting. There's not much, a vacancy to play those cross-batted shots. You need to be a bit more straight-batted, and that's what KL Rahul did. And like his celebration suggested, this is his zone, this is his ground, and no
Absolutely.
one knows his ground better than him. And that knock wasn't surprising. The class that he always had, it just came into the fray at the right time for Delhi Capitals, and somehow they just went past the line. So certainly two important teams and two important. You would say a situation where both the teams do want to win, but I think it will be a little more crucial for Rajasthan because they are playing at home, and I think they'll be a bit more desperate than RCB in this game.
Absolutely. Both the teams will be desperate for 2 points, but more importantly for the Royals from Rajasthan, according to you. But I'm asking you not just because this team is yet to lose a game in the season, but do you really think are the Delhi Capitals the most settled side so far on paper, or do you think that even Gujarat Titans are?
Well, I think it's Delhi. I mean, Gujarat, you would believe that if people say that there's some magic in Ashish Nehra. I mean, even if you give him a bunch of wood, he will deliver the results. You don't always associate Gujarat with a team filled with big names. Even without a very big star-studded side, they do overperform than what's expected from them. And who thought that a team which is filled with just Indian bowlers, a complete all-Indian bowling attack, delivering the goods this well? Certainly, it's pretty baffling. And a team where their main spinner Rashid Khan has not been among the wickets. I mean, yes, the previous game he looked back in form. But before that, he was nowhere near his
Perfect.
usual best. But people like Sai Kishore delivering. Now Sundar also was in the mix. I don't know why. I mean, everything about Gujarat is so unpredictable. I mean, whoever plays at number four just ends up delivering for them. I mean, when Rutherford played, he delivered for them. Suddenly they decided to, use Shah Rukh Khan. He delivers for them. Suddenly, when Sundar did well, they didn't back him, went for Shah Rukh, and even Shah Rukh delivers, but they didn't need Sundar. So somehow, even things that you think would be mistakes are actually being covered up. People associate it with luck or the Nehra factor, but I think it's a team that's overperforming when you talk about Gujarat as compared to what they are on paper. But Delhi, on the other hand, are a wonderful team. I mean, the bench is a bit thin, I would say, but I think that playing 12 is perhaps the strongest you can think of. Their bowling attack, it does everything. It has good power play operators like Stark, Mukesh. It has Natarajan who is yet to play. They have Mohit Sharma as well. So certainly, and the beautiful spin duo of Aksar and Kuldeep. I think there's literally no weakness in this team. People can bat till 8 and 9. They have Donovan Ferreira who is yet to unleash
I
himself.
was
So
about to come there that I think Donovan Ferreira should make a way into the side instead of JFM.
absolutely. I mean, if DFM is not delivering the goods, you can try Ferreira, to strengthen the middle order even more. They already have Ashutosh, they have Aksar, they have Vipraj, they have Stubbs. Adding Donovan would make them super strong over there. And Rahul is ready for opening. He's already done well in his first match as an opener. So you can open with Rahul and Faf. At three, you can bring in Porel. At four, maybe Aksar or Stubbs. Anyone can come in, and based on the situation, they can dig deep into a very
Middle
stable
order
back,
looks so strong now for Delhi
so
if you have.
strong, and their bowling has so many resources. I mean, maybe their bench is thin, but their playing 12 is absolutely scary. And I think Delhi are just delivering the goods as to what their team has.
Absolutely. You said about Delhi, you little bit highlighted of Gujarat Titans, two of the good teams who have yet already got 8 points in their bag. But focusing back into the Royals versus Royals clash, let's take a look at the head to head between both of them. Last two games, the Rajasthan Royals have won it in terms of last five encounters, but I particularly remember the victory by the the Royal Challengers Bangalore way back in 2023. It was also a day game, mind you, Orko, where RCB scored 170 odd runs and bundled out Rajasthan Royal for just 59 runs, just 10 more than what they scored at the Eden Gardens. Your thoughts on what you think about this clash? What about the overall head to head between these two teams?
Well, as we already discussed, I think the head-to-head is pretty close in terms of ratio with 15-14 in favor of RCB. But I think, as we have always seen history suggesting, and even this tournament itself has suggested, that RCB play better away from home. They don't feel like home at home. I mean, if you look at the conditions, they have a stellar crowd, they have wonderful fan support, but somehow the pitch, or whatever be the reason, doesn't deliver when they really want. Now their pitch has been a bit bowling friendly. Perhaps we would have seen them win at home, this time around versus Delhi Capitals. But then came KL Rahul, knows the pitch a bit better than the RCB side altogether. So
Nobody
maybe
wins
they will
RCB.
start winning. Yeah, maybe they will start winning in the upcoming games, but they are a little more comfortable in tracks outside the Chinnaswamy. So certainly in Sawai Mansingh, it wouldn't be any different.
Absolutely. And last time around, when RCB played at this venue, it was King Kohli's show, though on the losing cause, but King Kohli had 100 to his name. But rightly mentioned about that. Let's take a look at the pitch report of the Sawai Mansingh Stadium. 57 matches have been played in the IPL at this iconic venue, Orko. 20 times the team batting first, compared to the 37 times the team electing to chase. Chasing hunting ground, another one I must say.
Definitely, and if you look at the record which Rajasthan Royals had right from the days of Shane Warne, they are a team that protects the Sawai Mansingh like a fortress. They do well at home. They start winning games at home, but in the last 2 3 years, it has not really been the case. They have obviously in bits and pieces struggled even to get the results at home. But I think Sanju Samson and his troops would want to bring that old glory back and make this their fortress.
Absolutely. You said about making your home your fortress. I wonder what I feel for teams like Delhi Capitals and Rajasthan, especially because they have to share their home ground. Vizag was for Delhi Capitals, Guwahati was for Rajasthan Royals. I don't understand the logic behind that. If you have iconic venues, Arun Jaitley Stadium and Sawai Mansingh Stadium, you should have all your games out here, just like KKR, Chennai, Mumbai, RCB always do every single season. But it is what it is. We have to take forward that. But pitch report, you say that it's a chasing hunting ground. But if you're in the shoes of RCB, who have a very very composed bowling unit, how much do you pretend to score at this venue? At least 200.
Definitely, and as we have recently seen that 200 is the new normal. I mean, earlier there were teams which used to think that if you score 200, I think you have overscored, overperformed if you look at their batting. But I think 200 is pretty chaseable these days. It's like a bare normal, a new normal, as I said. That's what teams would look at, or if not get a little more than that, that would certainly be favorable. And with the kind of bowling attack RCB has, I mean, they're performing pretty well. All the troops are in form. I think they would be pretty confident to defend any total, or even if they are told to chase, they have the chase master and a bunch of good batters as well. Padikkal has been striking form. Patidar's doing well. Jitesh has also been pretty good. So I think they bat deep as the template has been for them. I think RCB wouldn't have a problem doing anything in this particular ground. But just because it's a day game and you expect, the ball to turn a bit more in the first innings, maybe because there's not much of dew coming around, I think the team that would win the toss would want to bat first.
Okay, team might elect to bat first. Will there be due or not? I don't know. But you said about 200 being the new normal. I would like to ask you before I move on to the strategic timeout section. Which side are you a little bit? Having a close game of 160, 170 runs, or having an high scoring of 230 to 40?
Definitely, I'm old school and I'm very proudly conventional in that way. I would love to see, low scorers or, mediocre scores also being, competed well between both the teams. I mean, even in commentary, please don't take offense. Many people say that an entertaining game means you have to be showered with fours and sixes. I think even taking good wickets or bowling good lines and lengths and troubling the batsman and making it a bowler friendly competition also can be
100%.
entertainment. Because I don't think that this game is only a batter's game. And if it is the case, it's setting a very bad example. So certainly, I believe that it needs to be evened out, and targets like 160, 170 being competed fiercely between two teams is what I would prefer to watch.
Absolutely agree, and add me into that list as well because I love that. To be honest, if the game is going down to the wire, the target of 170, 180, and both the teams are fighting for 2 points, I very much like it until unless it's a 230 and one horse victory for either of the sides. Let's take a look at the strategic timeout section now, putting Orko into the hot seat. 4 questions, 60 seconds. Orko, the time starts now. Yashasvi Jaiswal or Virat Kohli, which Indian opener do you think will score more runs tomorrow?
Well, Virat Kohli, definitely. I mean, he's the one who is in greater form. I know Jaiswal did well in one game, but I still believe it's King Kohli all the way.
Okay, Shimron Hetmeyer or Tim David, which finisher do you think will smash more sixes?
Home advantage, I think Hetmyer would be familiar with the conditions, so I believe Hetmyer, the Caribbean bomber, would have a greater time in this game.
Okay, which overseas seamer do you think will pick more wickets in the power play? Josh Hazelwood or Jofra Archer?
I think Hazelwood. I mean, Hazelwood does have the tendency to trouble top order batters, and Rajasthan's top order has been a bit shaky, so he would perhaps want to cash in and bowl a good spell up front.
Okay, final one. Which wicketkeeper do you think will be more involved in dismissals? Sanju Samson or Jitesh Sharma?
Well, Samson, the captain, definitely he'll be involved because apart from being the keeper, he leads the side. So I think Samson would have great involvement. But that being said, Jitesh has been brilliant behind the wickets, so you can't write him off either.
Okay, so you've given your four answers in terms of the strategic timeout section. We'll see at the end of the day how many do you get correct. The final one, which wicket keeper do you think? Before I move on to the players to watch out for, you little bit said about Jitesh Sharma's involvement with the clubs as well. I take you back to the Wankhede Stadium, that DRS which he did of Ryan Rickelton's dismissal and Hazelwood was bowling. Have you ever seen a wicket keeper run up to the surface and spot that mark and then say it's pitching in line?
Well, absolutely. That was a stunning decision. I mean, the way he decided to convince his captain to take the review. Hazelwood himself wasn't that confident, but he ran up there, saw that spot. I mean, it reminds me of tennis. I mean, when you look at Roland Garros in French Open, it's played on clay, and the umpires tell that the ball pitched within the court or
Correct.
outside. Just pointed out on the sand or the clay that we talk about. So, notice that in a cricket game shows the amount of vision and game sense that he has. It's very nice to see keepers like this. There's a similar keeper even in Rajasthan. That's Dhruv Jurel. He's also very good in terms of DRS and noticing things, having a great vision. So these kind of players also end up becoming good leadership prospects for their respective teams. So it's a breath of fresh air seeing young keepers being so actively involved in the game, not just for keeping and for batting, but also in deciding crucial decisions for the game and convincing the captain.
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely right. You rightly mentioned about that. But another keeper, as you rightly mentioned in the beginning of the show, KL Rahul, the way he's leading India into the Champions Trophy, the way he was behind the stumps, and also in different, even the 2023, though we came out finalists, but the 2023 World Cup was he was fabulous behind the stumps. And such a responsible player, to be honest. Moving on to the players to watch out for, let's take a look into my picks. Sanju Samson, Riyan Parak, and Vanundu Hasaranga are the three players to watch out for Rajasthan Royals. Similarly, for RCB, I'm going for Virat Kohli, Phil Salt, and Yash Dayal. Any other picks from you?
Well, definitely. Rajasthan, I think the crucial standpoint would be Vasindu Hasaranga, and I hope he's available. He didn't play the previous game for reasons unknown. Faruqi played that game. Along with Thikshan, I think they make a very good spin starlet duo, and they were good even against Punjab, in the middle overs to stop that run flow which Punjab was so proudly possessing. And even if you look at the recent encounter versus DC, you did see that RCB with their cross-batted shots struggled. Even Virat Kohli himself got out to Vipraj. And of course, Kuldeep also bowled very well. Aksar, not in the best of forms, but you have seen wrist spinners do well. You expect someone like Hasaranga and of course a finger spinner, or a mystery spinner like Tiksana to also do well. And I think they have a very crucial role to play. Parag, obviously, in the form of his life, occupies the proper number three, number four position would be key even on this game. And Sanju Samson, the captain, the keeper, the decision maker, you cannot write him off in any game for that matter. And of course, in
Never
RCB,
ever.
you can never think of a team without rating Kohli highly if he plays for that team. Certainly, Kohli against this opponent in this ground, has been a massacre in the past. Hazelwood, I think, would be a very crucial player in this particular team. Also, Yash Dayal for that matter. And if you look at Patidar, as I previously talked about the spin strength that
Spin.
Rajasthan have, he's a spin basher. So I think Patidar would have a very important role in this game this time around.
Absolutely. Every team who has strong spinners in their side, if in the opponent of RCB, you always have to think about Rajat Patidar. What a wonderful player of spin he is, I must tell you. You've given your thoughts about the players to watch out for. Let's take a look at the top three battles I've gone for. Josh Hazelwood versus Yashasvi Jaiswal is battle number one, according to me. Jofra Archer versus Phil Salt, the English duo, is my battle number two. I'm going for Suyash Sharma versus Riyan Parag as my battle number three. Any other battle in your mind?
Well, I think these are the battles that will be very crucial. If I could add one, I would perhaps say Hasaranga versus Rajat Patidar because Patidar likes to dominate the spinners. Hasaranga is someone who will pull those enticing lines and invite trouble. And as we previously talked about, being a past player for that team, maybe Hasaranga would think that he has a score to settle against the Royal Challengers, so he would be an interesting pick in this game as well. I think the battle between Archer and Salt will be pretty crucial because Salt is the one who gives them those starts. Archer has been brilliant. He's rediscovered his form in the last two games. In the power play, that ball which he bowled to Shubman Gill was absolutely magical. And you would expect Salt also to, struggle in those kind of lines. Bolt also got him out in a similar way as Archer got Gill out. So that would be a crucial battle. Of course, Jaiswal and Sanju Samson, I would say, in the power play versus Hazelwood would have a tough time because, both of those players struggle a bit in cross-batted shots against that back of and
You could
bowling. And
somehow say Sanju versus Bhuvi also is a very electrifying battle.
absolutely. But I think Sanju would deal with Bhuvi a bit more easier because, the pace of Bhuvi is a bit down. Of course, he's accurate, his swing is brilliant. But if there's not much resistance in the pitch, Bhuvi could be perhaps tamed by a player of Sanju's stature. But Hazelwood, with his pace, with his bounce, and those nagging lines and length, I think he would be a handful against Sanju and also Yashasvi for that matter.
Okay, so you've given your thoughts, different battles you have said, recommended, rightly so. Thank you so much for that. Orko, let's take a look into the predicted playing 11, starting with the Rajasthan Royals. It's a day game, no ball change, no due at all. I think spin is key, and I really hope that Manindu Hasaranga is back into the side for the Rajasthan Royals. He takes the spot of Fazal Faruqi. Shubham Dubey continues to be my impact player, unchanged 11 according to me.
Well, definitely. Of course, the results have been here and there. They've not been too poor, and at the same time, they have not been as dominant as they were in the first half of the previous season. So I think they would want to pull their socks up before it gets too late. And they have a pretty stable 11, and they don't need to, think of much experiments or changes. Once Hasaranga is back, obviously the bowling side will be bolstered. And given the weakness which you have recently noticed of RCB versus spin, Hasaranga is an absolute necessity in this game.
Absolutely. But one more question to you in terms of this 11, a personal favorite for you. How are you watching from a neutral standpoint of Nitish Rana performing for the Royals?
Well, as usual, Nitish Rana comes with inconsistencies. He gets an 80 and then gets out early in the next game. So he has that in him to be inconsistent. But when he's effective, he's a player of his own zone. Certainly, a player I admired a lot in KKR. And sadly, we couldn't get back his services. But definitely happy if he does well in that franchise as well.
Absolutely, rightly mentioned. But Nitish Rana is due for runs since that 80. I believe he scored versus the Chennai Super Kings. Let's take a look at the playing 11 of the Royal Challengers Bangalore. I think it's an unchanged 11 because things are working out pretty well. Still concerns about somebody in the side in terms of giving a little bit strength to the bowling. That is Liam Livingston. Do you think Liam Livingston can be somebody who can make way for Romario Shepherd into the side?
Well, I think they have enough faces, so maybe they would not look at Romario Shepherd just yet. Livingston adds a bit variety. He bowls that leg spin to off spinners. Sorry, the leg spin to right handers. Beg your pardon, and off spin to left handers. So he has that variety in him. He's also been, someone who's been among the runs, especially in that game against Gujarat. He struggled ever since and even before that. But he's a class player. I think they would want to give him a run maybe in the next 2 3 games before they look at someone like a Bethel or maybe Romario Shepherd for that matter. So I think that their team is pretty much stable. They bat deep. I think Jitesh Sharma plays a very crucial role to give the depth in their side. He's the one who plays the finisher's role. He's well groomed under Dinesh Karthik. He's in the right frame of mind and also in the right leadership group. So I'm certainly happy for him. Otherwise, apart from that, I don't see RCB changing too much in this game.
They have a very, very top class dead bowler in this side, but unable to fit him because of Josh Hazelwood's rich vein of form. Nuwan Tusara. Do you think there will be a time when he might just slot into the side in place of whom?
Well, that's the problem. In place of whom, and when the bowling is already performing well, I think maybe they would not look at him just yet. Hazelwood certainly being the spearhead and Bhuvi and they are doing their job. I don't think that they would look at Nuwan Tushara. I mean, they even look beyond Rasik Dar because they are seeing that Suyash Sharma is doing well. So certainly, when they're not able to accommodate a fourth seamer from India, I don't think they would want to, spoil or waste an overseas slot on Nuwan Tushara just yet.
Okay, you think that it's going to be the same 11 for RCB as of now because they're performing really, really well with a 100% record away from home. Time to put you into the hot seat. Time for predictions. Match number 28, RCB versus RR at the Sawai Mansingh Stadium. Orko, over to you. Royals versus Royals. What is your prediction for this game?
Well, I think 14 favor of RCB. I mean, just because of the recent record away from home, I think RCB have a greater chance in this game. And even in terms of form, they are a bit more stable playing, away from home. And Rajasthan has been a bit here and there. They would want to protect their fortress. Perhaps they may prove me wrong, but I still believe that 60-40 in favor of RCB is the kind of prediction I would go with.
Okay, RCB is a little bit strong in on paper according to Orko, and also with the consistency they are showing away from home. 60-40 according to him for the Bengaluru franchisee. Okay, thank you so much, Orko. Thank you to all the viewers watching this video. Don't forget to subscribe to the Fifth Umpire. Press the bell icon as well. Sit back and enjoy the afternoon clash.